Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of FTB Skies 2 on the FTUG server. Before we get started today, two things. One, sorry about last week. I was sick, voice was not in recording quality, but we're back now. And second of all, I completely missed my 2-year anniversary of doing the Fractured Flask channel. That was a few weeks ago. End of February, I believe. We passed our 2-year anniversary, so go ahead and drop your favorite Fractured Flask memories in the comments. And yeah, I can't believe it's been 2 years already. Thanks for sticking around. But today, I'm going to tell you a story. Once upon a time, a town was built, and that town was built atop a series of sewers. Sewers accessed from this little hatch here. And if we head inside, we can see a cistern in the middle with several layers. If we head out here, we can head through here. And I'm just realizing I forgot to take off the night vision, as it looks a lot cooler without the night vision. So let me take that out real quick, and then we'll go back, let it expire. Where is it? Okay, let me dispel ourselves real quick, and there we go. Doesn't that look much cooler? But cistern there. We've got basically a loop on the first level. Nothing too special, nothing too crazy, it's just this loop, really. And then it ends there. And then if we head to the cistern, we can head back down to the second level, where it's a little more complicated. We got our through road there. We can head around this way. And then we've got a big empty room here. And that's pretty much it on that level. And then if we go down to this level, nothing here. So the city doesn't actually need that much in its sewers, so it just built that little bit. But yeah, that's the sewers. That's exciting, right? And that's the story I wanted to tell you. Now, let's go back here. And I'm going to tell you another story. A newer story. Once upon a time, there was a library. And in this library was studied the arts of wizardry. Up on the main floor was studied the magic of spell crafting, of putting together glyphs to make unique effects, and everybody loved them. And down in the basement was studied a less creative magic type of wizardry, in which spells were crafted. The Iron Spells mod down here. Materials. We have runes and stuff. And then in here, of course, all the scrolls that our little basement wizard crafted. But the thing about the basement wizard is he resented the upstairs wizards. He thought his magic was just as good. But he wanted more respect, so he started digging into deeper and deeper things, which led him to a darker type of magic. And he built a little lever system to hide his work. And then, down into the sewers, he dug. And in the sewers, over here, he built himself a little secret room where he started experimenting with soul magic. Not too far, but a little bit. And he organized the levers so that he could keep it a secret, close the door, Stuff like that. So that is the second story I want to tell you. Let's close that up. We will head out here. Close that up. It's like it never existed. And now we're going to head back to the entrance, and I'm going to tell you the middle story. Older than the creation of the sewers, but newer than the iron spells area. Hello, Dr. Cthulhu. So once upon a time, a town was built, and the town celebrated the study of wizardry above all else. But that was not the only kind of magic in the world, and the people of those other types of magic knew they would need a place where they could do their work in secret. So they created a magic system where they would click on the fountain, this cool little key thing, and it would open a secret component, remove the water in the fountain, and reveal the stairs. And unfortunately, I have a step thing. The light, if we head downstairs, if it stops lagging real quick, we can click the sewer key here again, and it'll bring it all back down. And wait for the sound. Water's back in the fountain. And then we have much a similar system here. So let's actually leave the doors open, just for convenience. And if we head this way... Nope. This way. Is it this way? Where did I put it? This way. First off came... No, it's not this one? Okay. This is kind of ruining my story. I forgot where exactly I needed to go. Did this? Nope, not that one. Was it? Okay. Nope. I thought it was right by the door. Right by the door. Right? No, that's the other one. Huh. Was it a floor down? Could have been a floor down. Okay. So that's the way into the sewers. Oh boy. It's all falling apart. Okay, here we go. If we head in here, we can first come into the room with the mechanism that I will show you later. Leave that open for now. But if we hit here... Okay. We come into this secret little back hallway, and if we come down here... we come into a secret forest that I've built, where the enchanted, the witches, and back here, the druids are able to do their nature magic in peace. And the whole thing is lit with glow lichen, so it has this spooky little atmosphere. But that's not the only magic in the sewers. We head out here. Leave that open so I can come back later. Where was it? Yes. We go down here, you see nothing, yes? But if we click the ladder, or the torch across from the ladder, and we head down a little bit further, we come to the occultism setup. And I've kind of given up the narrative device at this point, but I'm just giving a general overview here. So yeah, we got the occultism setup, we got the witchery, or the enchanted setup, the root setup, all in the sewers, hidden behind secret sconce levers, which were a very cool and fortuitous discovery with these supplementary sconce levers. And also, they do cool lighting. So, let's go back from the beginning, and I'll show you all the different stuff that we just skimmed over real quick. So first off, up to the iron spells, you'll notice I've cut out the malum thing, and I've turned it into an actual part of the library. These are for all of the armor sets. We got the spells. We have components. Important PSA. Irons. From the irons, gems, and jewelry, once you put the stuff into your refined storage, it won't let you take it out. So don't do that. I can't get any of this out, and I don't know why. But we have the sconce lever that leads in here. And down here we have our malum setup. As you saw, there's not too much to show you about that. We've seen it before. But I've kind of just adopted this design philosophy here, where when we need it, we put one torch above a indented bit, and then we can just use that to open one of these framed iron doors. So you can't open that door without the lever. If we head towards the cistern, we can hop down another level, and I can show you the mechanism for that cool key thing. It's in here. So it took a while to figure this out without flooding everything. So I'm gonna free cam up here. So if we click this on this block here, what that does is it's a touch spell. It filters for block. It's the redstone signal glyph, and then sensitive makes this glyph emit a redstone signal. That block is entangled, and I put this all over here to stop the liquid, is entangled to this block. So when I click that, it makes that block generate a redstone signal, which makes this block generate a redstone signal. And then this one is the sconce from the interior side, which toggles this powered latch, which goes to here, which swaps these two, which activates these create redstone links, which are done up here. There's some water wheels in here, powering them, and there's appropriate delays, so it will, when you're opening it, it will first trigger the fluid collector to collect all the water, and then the fluid collector goes, then the door, or the horizontal, like, slab of stone will open after a delay of enough time, and then the stairs will rise from this mechanical piston here, and then we got this mechanical piston here moving the slab down. And then it's kind of reverse order for when you're closing it. This took too long to make, but I'm really happy how it turned out. If you double click at all with the sewer key, and this is a gauntlet, which automatically has a touch spell, because I wanted to have it some reproducible item instead of just a spell book that I could, like, give to other people in theory. If you double click it, it breaks the whole thing. So I'm not doing that. But if we head down here, this is cool actually, because then we just head down into a forest that is fully wrapped around this. And there's two mods down here. The first is Roots. And Roots is interesting, because the reason I initially created this is because I needed bees for progressing in occultism, and we can summon stuff with this. I don't think I have the materials for a ritual right now, but basically how this works is this thing you can put stuff in. Oh, let's do a rabbit summoning, shall we? Summon creatures. I don't think I have the materials for that. But you would be able to put those 3 items into, I believe, the ritual pedestals. And then you could put more items in here and start a ritual that would summon animals. And I used it to summon some bees for the other side, which I will show you in a minute. And then you can use that to create stuff like Power of Moss. I'm not spending too much time on roots because it's not too useful. There's some plants, it's basically a crafting mod. Do some rituals, summon some creatures. Not too shabby. But if we head over to this side, we find the Enchanted mod, which is a old version of, or a new version of the old Witchery mod. And the way this works is it revolves around a couple different things. First off, the kettle, which is you throw stuff in with water in a specific order and it crafts stuff. We have the Witch's Oven, which you put saplings and stuff in to get these kinds of fumes here, which you can then use to craft stuff. Not too complicated. We have windows outside. We got a little fake tree hut thing. We got flowers. And then it also rolls in this altar, which gains power from these 3 items. A filled chalice with some redstone soup, which we made with the kettle. A candelabra and a player head that I bought from a wandering trader. And those power up the altar, and the more unique nature items you have within like 32, 16 blocks or something, it gives you more power. So, bunch of different nature things, multipliers, we have altar power, which can be used to power this. So, I actually have prepared for this. So if we throw these 5 items onto this thing, and then we click this, it'll absorb them, and create something called an attuned stone. And if we look in here real quick, that used some power from this altar. These circles are the main point of witchery, which you can throw different things onto that and click it, and it will do stuff like change the weather, or summon something, or craft something like this. And what this does is allow you to do these rituals outside the presence of an altar, so you don't have to set it up and set up all the nature and stuff. Honestly, roots and witchery and occultism, which I'm going to show you in a minute here, they're not too interesting to me. They can do a couple interesting things, and that's basically what this setup is. It's like, I don't need anything specific from them, but if I want something, I have all the infrastructure to make it. So, I like how this, little underground forest looks, with all the nature and the glow lichen and the darkness, but I'm not going to spend too much time in here, because I don't really need anything from these mods, and I'm not spending a lot of time on it. I know Grok did a couple episodes recently about these different mods. There's a lot more depth, so go check those out if you actually care. I'm just kind of giving you a general overview of what I've set up here. So if we head down a little bit into the occultism setup, this mod is basically progressively crafting different colors of chalk in order to make bigger and bigger circles in order to do bigger and bigger things. So this is a I don't remember what there's like a summoning one, a binding one, but basically how this mod works is you take these books, you combine them with this to get the specific names attached to them, and then you throw them into, or you put them in here and crafting ingredients here, and it either summons something, creates something, does something like that. Yeah, I've fully got all the circles and infrastructure for this, if I need them, which I don't really. And the ultimate chalk is the rainbow chalk, which can make any of these colors, and you make this by a ritual with all of the colors. And that's pretty much it. Nothing too crazy. The only thing you really need is crusher spirits like this, because the crusher spirits will crush things that no other machine in the mod can, like ice. The only way to get crushed ice for the purposes of making chalk is with this crusher. So I did have to make those, but you don't need any of the other spirits to progress in the mod. And then you got these specific things that you can get by killing mobs that you summon. It's a very internal mod, and it's not really connected or needed for anything else. It's kind of just themed crafting, and nothing too special about it. So yeah, those 3 mods, I have infrastructure should I want it, but at present, I don't really want it. So let's head back upstairs, and I can show you an important piece of... Actually, I'm just going to leave everything open in case I want to come back down here. For thematics, it's cool, but practicality, I don't want to have to open everything all the time. So what was I saying? I was talking about, yes, the anvils. So, occultism has provided me with a material called iasnium, which allowed me to make an indestructible anvil. So you'll remember in episodes past I had a stack of anvils. Now it's just this, because that'll never break. And also, I have created another anvil over here, which is the Celestigem anvil, which allows me to repair things with power. This was really important during the occultism mod because it allowed me to repair my chalks instead of just having to make another set of them to make this rainbow chalk. So it's great. This is actually the 3rd of 4 levels. For some reason, when I put down the Eclipse alloy anvil, it didn't actually do the repairing. So I don't know what's up with that, but the Celestigem anvil is the best one for repairing with power. And yeah, that's my basic overview of my exploits with magic. We've got Ars Nouveau, Iron Spells, Roots, Witchery, Occultism in the basement. We have Enchanting here. And we have a cool device. There was a goddess statue on top of this, but turns out when you move a goddess statue with Create, by accident, as it were, it destroys it. And I haven't been able to locate a 3rd one so far. So, yeah. And then we can also, of course, close it from here. Here's what it looks like from below. Lower the stairs, close the block, and then put back the water. I think I'm very proud of this little mechanism. It's very cool. But you're probably wondering about this building. And this building is something else. This building is where, as you can see in here, I've been playing with Oratech. So let me go put the potion filter back in so we can get a proper look at the building. Okay. Come on. Night vision. Close the satellite. Let's go get a proper look at this building. In the daytime. Lightning rod up there. Ta-da! I'm actually really proud of how this building looks, except this. I forgot about this. So I moved the forge in here. The Productive Metalworks one. And I had lava here, and it kept burning the thing down. I didn't think it would, but I think that's what kept burning it down, because it burned down 3 times. and I didn't want to have to deal with that anymore, so I replaced it with a magma block, less efficient, but less, destructive. So I'm just going to repair this real quick, and then we'll get on to Oratech, which I'll give you a bit of an overview. It's basically if immersive engineering met particle physics, which is pretty cool in my opinion. It doesn't really do a lot that other mods can't do. There's a couple things it does that other mods can't do. Acacia planks. But for the most part, it doesn't do anything super special. This is taking longer than expected, but ignore that. I like the look of this building with the multi-layers and the different tiering. So we have this basement actually goes down into the sewers, and if we pass wall, we're right up against the sewers. This is as big as the basement could possibly get. But here we are. Up here, running off the lava, we have a lava generator, which, because of a upgrade on the back, we'll pump water in, and it makes steam, which we are in turn pumping into a steam engine, which is the main power for the building. This thing is completely off-grid. It's on its own power. And because the steam engine only works if it isn't full of energy, and the generator and it also isn't full of water. So in order to keep it running whenever you need it, you have to void the water, which is what this is. There's a void upgrade in here, but we're also pulling water out of it for something else. So there's that. And that's basically just a portable battery. And then I'm running power cables and fluid cables for other stuff, which if we head down the stairs, here we have our assembler, which is a crafter. You put things in there and it makes them. And then we have a pulverizer, which just pulverizes stuff. We have some fluid. We're pumping it over to the centrifuge with water. I have that full of biofuel right now. And then this fluid add-on lets it separate out with fuel, or separate out liquids. We have the foundry, which is basically an alloy smelter. We have a thing of amethyst here, which is for a laser I have moved. And then we have our refinery, which can take that biofuel and turn it into other stuff. Portable tanks. I have here a reforger setup, which will turn stone. Let me grab some diamonds. If we take diamonds, we put them in this barrel. They will be used by the reforger to turn that into ore. And if I turn this on, it'll break it, and then it'll get picked up. That is turning... This energized smelter is turning cobblestone into stone from a generator behind it. And then we have a placer placing the stone there. So that all goes into here. We got ore, which I use to get uranium. There's some monazite dust in there. It drops a lot of cool stuff, honestly. I probably could have used this way earlier, but here we are. But I needed uranium for something. We have the atomic forge here, which, let me grab one of the lasers, and I'll show you what this is for. So, laser, and how this works. So, basically how this mod works, you have a single block of the machine, and then you fill it. If you click this, it'll show you where you need to put machine cores. And once you've done that, you can click on that, and it'll expand into a full machine. And if we click here, it'll save it. And actually, more dramatically, let's do this. So that'll speed up the growth and mine it into the laser for another material, which is why that's there. But yeah, that's the main point. But there are two things that have come out of this mod. It's not too crazy. We have in here, teleporter that takes us back. We have Oratech Lab here, which will take us back here. And then we have a elevator thing here upstairs. Oh, hello. That's supposed to be fully enclosed. The second level has a thing out here. Honestly, I thought there would be a lot more to Oratech that I would have to place, so I made a big building, and now most of it's empty. But where was I? I was talking about the two things that came out of this mod that we're actually going to use. So the first is these Enderic lasers, and what is called Schrodinger's Safe, which is a power storage that will scale depending on how many of these lasers you point at it. It will increase its storage capability. So you kind of have to power these lasers and then storage. And the second thing is going to be the nuclear reactor, which is going to be the power generation from it. So we have our power generation, our power storage. And with those are going to be the main power system of our multiverse travel ship, which next episode we are going to start building. That's right. It's time to start building our multiverse travel ship, to start exploring the multiverse, and Oratech is going to be the basis of the power system. And I think that's pretty cool. So that was like wildly rambly, and even that took half an hour. So I'm gonna stop the episode here. Sorry for the disjointed rambling pace. It was a quick overview of some stuff I've done. Next episode, as I said, we're gonna start building the ship, and hopefully that turns out well. Not exactly sure what the design is gonna look like, but I think it's gonna be cool once it's done. But yeah, if there's anything you wanted to see a little bit more of in this episode, feel free to drop that in the comments. Drop your favorite Fractured Flask memories in the comments. Because for our anniversary, but yeah, sorry about the rambling, but there was a lot to show off, and I wasn't quite sure what order to do it in. But until next time, thanks for watching. Later.